tried to get on a minute ago. Okay, I think we have it now. That was a little crazy. Okay, I'm hoping that this is going to work this time. Sometimes craziness ensues when you try to go live or anything. Okay, I think I got it. All right. I hope you guys are well. I think that's not too bad. I'm going to just make a small adjustment here. There. All right. Hold on, guys. Sorry, the live stream is not coming up for me to talk to you. So while I'm waiting to get this up, tonight I am going to start with this photo. And this is a photo of my, I'm learning French because I'm going to be going to Paris for my 60th birthday. And I've been trying to at least learn enough French that I can actually like say small things, converse, navigate hotels and luggage, maybe some things at the airport, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what my hope is for being able to learn the language. And I'm going in January of 2024, so I have plenty of time to get this figured out. So I've been, as I was kind of, and I speak, yo hablo un poquito español, so I speak a little Spanish. I had 6 years of Spanish in middle school and high school, and then worked in an industry where I actually did speak some Spanish. So, and my mom's half of the family is Hispanic. So anyway, so I kind of understand conjugating verbs because for some reason those lessons sort of, when you speak English, you don't think about conjugating things so much. It just happens. But when you're learning a language, you have to figure out how to do that. So I was kind of writing some things down because I was mixing up verbs and that kind of stuff. So I now have a notebook of things to help me learn French. So anyway, so that's what this is. This is a picture of me doing that. And it was funny because I made a comment about, trying to, as an older person, trying to learn a language. And, that's what this was about. So just kind of a funny thing. Hey, Kristen. So that's, kind of what this is about. It's sort of the first beginning, trying to learn the language, that kind of thing. So I have a Doodlebug collection here, and it's Doodlebug French Kiss. This is from, I'll look and see if I can get a date on this, 2018. So I bought it because I was supposed to go to Paris in 2020, which a lot of things happened, right? And a lot of us didn't do what we thought we were going to do. This being one of them for me, is that I ended up not going to Paris. And then one of my nephews was studying in France for his doctorate. He was doing some doctoral research. So I was supposed to spend some time there and then go down to the south of France where he is. So when I realized I was turning 60 in January, I decided it was time to go to Paris. But prior to that, I had bought this collection. Now this was a Valentine's collection, going back. This was a Valentine's collection. So I have used it here and there for layouts about my boyfriend and I, or just in general layouts, just layouts where I thought the colors were appropriate. So it does definitely have some French motifs, like, this is the one I'm looking for, this piece of paper that is the Eiffel Tower. And then on top of it, I had a lot of embellishment. So I have this odds and ends pack, which is the die cuts. I have a 6x12 sticker sheet here. I have a 12x12 sticker sheet here. And then, and you can see like the Valentine's Day themes here. And then I have a sticker book. Actually, I have 2 of those with sticker sheets. So it's not sticker books, sorry, these are smaller icon sticker sheets. So I have those. And these are actually the same. It's just you're seeing the 2 different stickers here. And then I have these Eiffel Tower Doodle Pops, which I think I'm going to use one of these tonight. I have this because of the Eiffel Tower here. It's a travel, like a metal sticker kind of a thing, a metal embellishment. And it does have the Eiffel Tower in a globe. I think I'm going to save this for when we travel because I have this and I think I'll use that. Plus, I also have shaped sprinkles in the hearts and just the typical shaped sprinkles with the Eiffel Tower here. So I have lots of things that I can use to embellish this. And as I was going through this, I just noticed that I have this grid paper here, which I do kind of like the idea of possibly using this because it feels like something you'd write on. But we'll see. I'm not sure about that yet. And then the other thing is I probably want to get a paper in here that has all the colors. So be it the polka dot, I could do some sort of floral here. I'm thinking if I'm going to use this paper, I want that loud and proud somewhere. And then I also have this one that I could do to use up. This is a lot of lines. I have this paper, this heart paper, which I like very much, which actually makes kind of a cool border. Although so with this, and it might be a little bit less disturbing. And then I have that, which I don't like as well because there's so much white there. So I think that's going to be a no. Look at this. These are some of the solids as well. This floral is really nice. I don't know that that is particularly... Yeah, I think it's... I like it with this, but maybe not with kind of the theme of this layout. So that's still winning. What's this? Oh, this is another one of the... These are just repeats. I do have this paper as well too. And then there's that bows on the back of that blue floral. I also do have this one, which is a nice one, which I could use sort of for journaling or something like that. So let's see. When I have 2 pieces of that. Let's see what I can come up with here. I do like the idea right away of this really bold heart print. Oh, this is kind of a cool one too. But I think I'll wait for this. I think I used the cloud paper here. I don't think I need that. It's not a love thing. This I could use for other things. So I'm thinking I'm going to wait on that. So there's that, and then perhaps this. We could do a framed layout. And I could use maybe this somehow. This might be kind of interesting. behind this to journal is what I'm now thinking I'm going to do. So, hey Carrie, thanks. And hello to you. And Kristen, I think I said hello to you. I was thinking it if I didn't say it. So sometimes I get mid-thought and forget to do what I'm thinking of. So I also just saw this girl right here, and she has flowers in a balloon, but my hair is blonde, sort of. My hairdresser knows anyway, right? I actually do. My hair has darkened a lot as I've gotten older, but I did have blonde hair, so I've gone back to blonde. I have blonde highlights. So that might be kind of fun to put this sticker here because it is me learning French, you know. So I'm thinking that's kind of fun. So I'm thinking I like the way this color palette is, like this, to Carrie's point, and the prints are coming out here. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is do this where I do a fairly large border around this piece of paper. And I may have to pull that up a little bit once I get this cut. I do love that heart print. Oh, that's why I have so many of these, because the heart print is on the back. So I've used them a couple of times I know I used this on a card that I made for Valentine's Day, I think last year for my boyfriend. Yeah, I think that's true. Just kind of fun. This heart paper is one of my favorite papers from the collection, so might as well use that up. This paper, I really want to see a lot of that, I think. So I think I'm going to cut this just to 11 by 11, and this is the one with that print on the back. So I should be telling you what these are. This heart paper with the stripe on the back, not that I know that you can even get this anymore, is the French Cafe paper. This, and again, it's from Doodlebug French Kiss. This is the French Kiss paper. So that's easy enough. Like I said, I'm just going to take an inch off. I want a little wider border of that. Is why I'm taking an inch off. A lot of times I'll just do 11 3/4. I do like that particular dimension and relationship there. And then this paper here, this plaid is Passion for Plaid. And this one, I think I am going to gut this paper just because I don't have a lot of this left. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've got a trip to do yet. And I'd like to actually use this because I wasn't sure that I was going to end up going to Paris after the debacle of 2020. You know, you just never know. You know, life moves on sometimes. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is cut this to a 10 3/4 inch frame, I think. So then I've got it set here to 10 3/4, and then if I do that here, I start my Fiskars trimmer to that, then I know I'll be making those cuts. And then here, once you have one down, it's fairly easy because then I just bring it to 10 3/4 here. So that's how you make a frame. And a lot of times I end up doing a little bit of scissors cutting here. Just for people, just in case there's anybody new watching me, this is how you do this. I don't worry if I've gone a little bit past that cut line, because it'll be covered up. And I thought I went a little bit shy on that first cut. Part of it is I was talking and having a hard time doing math. And it's one of those things I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I'm going to have to use the scissors here. Okay, so, and you know me, I have plenty of paper. A lot of times I don't do this but I am going to do it just because I want to use this collection when I go to Paris, because I have so many things will work. Now, I will say, though, that if I run out, I can still use all the stickers and a whole lot of Bella Boulevard, because Bella Boulevard colors go with this collection really, really well. I've used them quite a bit. So then, I don't know about you guys, but if you do this, if you have a hard time getting this straight, and like if you if you put the glue all the way around, you'll pick up pieces of your paper and it'll be all wonky. What I do is I put it in just one spot. I eye it. Sometimes my eye is good, sometimes it's not. Kind of looking at where that's landing. And I think that's going to be okay. And then what I do is hold this down and hold that down and add glue to a couple of other spots just so I know that I'm getting this down. And then I can come back in and get the rest of it, because it won't move on you then. So there's a little tip for you when you're trying to do a frame if you're wanting to conserve paper. Okay, so there's, and somehow I managed to get it wonky anyway. There we go. Okay, then we still have this, and I kind of like the idea of a pretty large piece here, I think. So I'm going to cut it there, and then I might cut it down from there once I get it on the, once I get it here. And then this will give me room to write and to embellish, because I can, do something like that there. Now, one of the things when I'm looking at how far I'm going to cut this piece is I can do a couple of different things. If I want, I can justify it all the way to the right here. You can justify it to the outside border. You can justify it to the inside border. I think that's going to give me too much room to write. I don't think I need all of that. Right now, I have about the same amount of space at the top and the bottom here. I might cut this down a little bit once I decide where this is going to come to. I've also done things where I've turned this paper into a banner. I don't think I'm going to do that tonight. What I'm thinking is, and then the other thing is, as I'm looking at this, I don't want this edge and this edge to line up, nor do I want this edge and this edge to line up. So I'm kind of looking at this, and I've moved this in about 1/4 of an inch so that this edge is about 1/4 of an inch in. It's maybe not quite that, but something close to that. Oops, as I'm doing this. So I kind of know what I'm looking at. And now I'm a straight line girl. If you're not, don't worry about this. But I'm thinking that I don't want it going so far over. I'm thinking this might be a little bit short if I bring it in here. I'm going to do about halfway here. And then I'm thinking the margins on here and here will be about the same on those two sides. And if they're not, I can fix that by just playing with it a little bit. And oftentimes that's what I do, that I'm not using specific measurements or anything like that. I'm just kind of trying to decide. And now I do want to give myself room for a title. As I said just before, I had this placed up here. I'm thinking what I'm going to want to do is drag this down here a little bit so that I can get the word French in here pretty large, and then learning up here in another font. I'm thinking I can do some sort of cluster over here like this and take up some space here. Maybe what I want to do is look at what I'm going to do for my title letters, and then and I've got a little something on this here. I'm going to cut that square off. Think it looks like I got glue on there, because I don't want to have to deal with that. Okay, there we go. So thinking this, now font wise, thinking something turquoise and glittery, but it's not going to be able to be too tall there. So that may change as I go in and find things. let's see. I'm looking. It is more of a true kind of aqua instead of a blue aqua, but let's see what I have here. So I have that, which is not a great, it's a little blue for this. And then I have these and these. So this I think is not going to work. This might be a really nice one to use. This one I could use, but that's pretty tall, so the word learning would have to be in really, really tiny letter stickers. And I do have navy and aqua as well. Thinking maybe this one, but this is also pretty tall too. So let's see what it looks like. I do have a lot of these letters left over though. That's one thing that's kind of nice. And my F would not be capitalized because this does not have large font. No, and no capital F here. Now obviously I could make one pretty easily by like MacGyvering a T. It's a little bit harder in this font, but I think I could do it. The other thing I'm just going to take a peek at, these are my Doodlebug stickers, but I think they're kind of small. Although this is a really good match, which would make sense, right? Because this is Doodlebug. There is another, this is their newer alphabet soup line. This is a perfect match. But I think it's kind of small. I think I'd lose this, and I think I want something chunky on here just because I need to take up some space. And one of the reasons I haven't totally committed to the design over here is I'm going to decide how much of this I want to chop off as well. I haven't completely figured that out yet. And I do have lots of aqua and other colors of alphas that I can use here. So let me give myself some space here maybe. I actually like it up here. Okay, so up here, I went in, it's probably a little bit more than that, and then I can use my grid lines to make sure this picture is actually straight. Okay. So there's that one. Hi, Nancy. Hi, everybody else, too. I can see a few other people are watching as well. Incognito, which is fine. Okay, so there's the F. Like I said, I have it. So this is the Mermaid Thicker Alpha. I don't have any idea what collection this came from. I'm just going to do a little spacing here to see how close I can get this. Hi, Diana. It's nice to see you here. Probably need to work with this, kind of spacing this across a little bit. And I do like the aqua because I did play with maybe doing some navy here, but I think I'm going to stick with the aqua. Okay, so that, now I could do what, I want to space this out a little bit more, I think, so that it comes a little bit further out here. And this is where sometimes I use things like hashtag marks, or for those of us who are older, the number mark or the number icon, or I'll do question marks, which actually that would be kind of a fun one for this. So, and I do have a question mark left here. Learning French. Okay, so if I'm doing that, this needs to come back here a little bit. That's okay, these are foam, so they move really nicely. Like I said, I kind of wish there was a capital F in here, but oh well. I'm using Duolingo, by the way, in case anybody's wondering. I'm really liking the app for learning, and I'm doing okay. I'm doing great recognizing things in print. It's having to come up with it on my own that it's the problem. I can say, Je m'appelle Kelly. and a few other things. Je voudrais un verre de vin. I want a glass of wine. And I know the words for red and white, so I'm set. All right, so I like that question mark. I don't think these would be appropriate. I'll lose those up there. The question now is, do I want to come back in with maybe a pink? If I have a pink, that's good. And by the way, if you guys speak French, I'm really sorry, because that was very bad. But and I might not. This is going to be a long word, so let's see how this works. And the nice part about this is I do have lines to work with here. Once this is done, I think it'll give me a really good idea of how much room I want down here for embellishment, and then I can sneak my writing up in there as well. So that's one of the reasons I'm getting this title done first. A lot of times I do my title much closer to the end of what I'm doing. I kind of have an idea of where it's going to go. This might need to move a little bit too, but we'll see. It's a little bit too big for me to be able to get it to snuggle in here, which was what I had hoped I would be able to do, but then I kind of realized I wouldn't be able to. So, but that's kind of a nice spacing there. I think we'll leave it right there. Because if I bring it down at all, I'm going to run into that H. Well, maybe not. Let's see. What happens if I bring this down here? It needs to come over just a little bit. I think this will actually be a little bit better if I do this. I need my little pokey tool here. I think this is going to look a little bit better. See how that's nestling in there a little bit now? It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I just thought it wasn't going to work because I thought it was going to be a little bit too tight to the top of that H. But there's more room there than I thought once I got this on here. So let's do that. I like it when things snuggle in together here. When you're doing a title like this with a couple different fonts. They look more like one thought. They're more readable. Okay. And all right, there we go. Like that. All right, then I have my Eiffel Tower here. And I have my little Kelly here. I'm not going to put any of those down too hard. I think I'll do this one in the blue. I'm going to bring this up a little bit because that would be a whole lot bigger than I am. And then I just want to look and see if there's any I'm laughing because there's actually a few things that I recognize on here in French. If there's anything that I could put down here for like a little word or something like that. If I did this, it would read "Love learning French." Don't like that. I don't want to leave this much room here, so maybe this is where I make the call about how wide this is going to be, actually, now that I think about that. So let's decide that. There we go. And I'll probably want to put some sort of border similar to that on there. Let me take this to the trimmer. The nice thing about using my trimmer that I have is that when you have stickers like that, it doesn't because it's a platform trimmer, it doesn't, you don't have to worry about, like on a regular trimmer like the one I was using before, you don't have to worry about getting things down. Even on raised things like this, you can use it. I'm going to tighten this up even more. Okay, there we go. I like that a lot better. Then I don't want her to look a little lost. And the other thing I'm thinking about doing is moving these two things closer even than they were. They were looking too much like they didn't belong together, I guess. Like they were two separate things. I'm gonna again come back here and tighten that up. There was just too much space. Okay, so now hopefully you can see what I was talking about. Now that I've sort of connected them a little bit here, it looks like they're part of the same cluster. They felt like they were floating separately the way I had them before. Now, if you felt inky, which I don't think I'm feeling inky tonight, but if you do, I could always ink this like in a navy would be kind of fun to do something a little bit different. I didn't look at any of my die cuts here. Just wanted to see if maybe I had something. You know how I like to go diagonal across. So I'm thinking I would really like something up here somewhere. And a little banner. Something like that would be kind of fun. I don't think I have any banners on here. And the only banner I had, I think, said like, yeah, it said I love you. Oh, there is a cute little, and I did actually see this on here too, I think. There's a cute little bag here that says Paris and Love. So that's kind of fun. So now, because I like that, but that is blending right into the background. So the question is, do I come in? I'm afraid if I come in with a banner, it's going to look a little, let me say, I think it'll be a little bit disturbing, but I can try it, maybe with that pink faux paper maybe? I thought I had a scrap. I don't think I want to do white because that will take your eye off of that. Or this little pattern. I think I do have the red as well. I have this little red. So I'm thinking I could do a banner. Probably a banner down would be a little bit better. Let's see, what do I think? If we pop this over here with this on top of it, sort of, and I would raise that up. Yeah, that's too dark. It's going to take my eye away. So now I also could go to my Doodlebug stash because that will match if I have a pink in here. Maybe that's what I'm going to do. Let me grab some pink Doodlebug. I have all this lovely faux solid. I just have to pull one that works with this collection is all. So there's that one. Now, I know I said I thought that that would be, what I ideally would like is this light pink color, that might be kind of dark. Here's a really nice light pink dot. Just want to see if I have a scrap of it. And I don't think I do. I don't. Okay. So, difference between just if I lay them here, what's screaming at you? Hello, look at me. My paper tux. I think that'll just be a better choice because I think it's a little bit less calling out to us. Now, I love to use these, you see this all the time, as solids, faux solids, and I use them to frame. So I'm going to actually just take a piece out of the middle here to work with. And I don't know how big I'm going to need this, so I'll just cut a decent sized piece here. But then this way I can use it as a frame. Oops, I didn't cut that far enough. That's okay, I think, just to get that, just so I have a general idea here, that's the important thing. And then just that one. And then this will live to see another day. This is Petite Prince in cupcake dot stripe, in case you're keeping track of that kind of thing. And my scrap room is starting to look crazy. So I've got stuff everywhere. All right, so back to this now. The question is, do I do the banner this way and kind of have this come off of it, or have it come down this way? And what I'm thinking is that I'm going to have this come up over and span the gap between those two. Okay, so let's start out with a pretty thick banner, and I can trim from there. And I'm not going to actually make my banner until my lean is that I want to do it this way. So, and I don't want it to come too close to that. I could still take some more off. Like I could take a little bit more off the top of that, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. Let's see, how much can we trim here? This could come slightly off the banner too. There's no reason why it can't. My other choice is to do it this way. And if I do that, I don't know, I'm just not loving this. I think it's breaking it up and it's giving too much vertical, and this is a horizontal space. Hey ladies. Hey Julie. I'm looking at your post there. Okay, so maybe let's see if I can get it to do this. What if I did that with it? And I chop this a little bit more here. And we'll kind of see what happens when I do that, if I like that. I think this will narrow this up. The other thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a little bit more off the top of that to give myself some room. I know this is a minuscule, like they're minuscule cuts that I'm making, but it's giving me more room to separate these things here. And I need to take one more cut because I don't like that in like the half a line that I just did there. The lines on this are gray, so they're a little bit hard to read. The nice thing about my Caterpillar platform trimmer is that I can do small things like that. Okay, I'm feeling better about that now. I still think it's a little wide. Let me take a little bit off the bottom of this and see what I think from that. Because that bag can extend on the bottom. Your eye will then see it. This needs to come down still too. Maybe this needs to go on the almost at the bottom. I don't like how the top of the sign is hitting the top of the banner either. So let me get that narrowed up. I'm going to take off just a little bit. I'm just somebody who does not like my lines to match. And I was just praying that I got this all. Okay, that feels a little bit better to me now. Okay, so oh, there we go. Now it feels a little bit better. Ideally, let's see. I'm looking to take a little bit more off. I'm trying to get space between the white paper, a little bit more space between the white paper and the pink paper there. So again, I'm just taking off a square at a time here. But it's starting to make a difference for me. There we go. Okay, I think this is good. Now, so we have that here. And then what I'll probably do, I have a really nice blue pen that I'll probably write in. Okay, and again, I'm just connecting these two things so that they look like they belong together. Just want her hair slightly under there. Okay, there we go. All right, I think that's good, and I'm gonna make a banner here and see what I think. So you just cut in, let's see. Halfway-ish in my case. A lot of times I flip this because it's just easier. And then you cut in, so you cut into your paper and then you cut in again. Now what would be nice is if I had a little bit of that pink paper down here somewhere, because that's looking like it's all by itself. I am liking the length of this coming out here, and I could write like a date or something on that. Another trick with a banner is, oops, this needs to come down here a little bit yet, is that you can put little foam squares under the tails there, and then they'll pop up just a little bit. I don't know that I'm going to do that with this one. Let me get it. I wanted to put some foam tape on this. I think it doesn't need to pop off quite as much as it did at first when it was blending into the background, but it still blends a little bit on the bottom, and so it'll be nice to have this just popped up just a little bit. And then what I'll do here is we'll just do that. This is one of those layouts that I think it's taking a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, but I'm also doing things I didn't anticipate I was going to do as well. Okay, so loving the way that looks. I'm just trying to decide if I want to like grab a punch and punch a little bit of something. The other thing I could do is take this off and, well, let's see, can I? I could take that off and maybe make a little, so ideally what I think I would do here, I don't know that I can do it though, is grab this and do, and I'm going to have to do it this way. I'll end up with a cut down here, but I'm not going to worry about that. And just do a frame around this, a really narrow frame. So that way I think then I'll get the pink in from here onto this page and it won't look so weird. I am going to have to tape this on though. these are the kind of things, I say this all the time, that you don't see when you see the live videos, because it's stuff that when you're doing this live that you can edit out. Or when you're there, I'm sorry, on the, not the live videos, the edited videos, because you can't get away with that when you're doing this live. Okay, so small frame here. And if I have to, I can also tighten up these. And like I said, I'm going to have a break in that paper. And I am going to come in, because this paper right here is where that's cut. Okay, and now that should be okay. If that bothered you, you could definitely do something like adding in an embellishment, an enamel dot, a word strip. Oh, that's cool, Carrie. I'm so glad that you're working on something. Yeah, thanks, Diana. I think so too. That once this is done, it's going to tie it all together. If I didn't do this, I'm really afraid that it would just look a little disjointed. And I think this is going to make a huge difference. So I might need to play a little bit with placement again. Or not. Because you know what we're going to do? And that's what I thought was going to happen. This has gotten a little bit big now because I've of the frame. But what I'll do is we're going to stick that there. And then I'm going to play with bringing this again, watching those lines, bring that off a little bit, and then just because I can, I'm going to cut this up here. Maybe not. Let me put these back on here again. Let's see what this looks like. Actually, I was going to bring this up so it was here, so it was kind of up to this line here, but actually I think I like it the way it is. And that really made a huge difference in bringing these two things together now. Definitely. I think I do need some pink or something over there though, so we'll look at that once I get, and that I can do with an embellishment. That's super simple. So let's kind of get that on there. Bring that down a little bit there, and now we have that glued down. So, yay! It took a while to get there, but I think we're there, and that sometimes happens. Well, because first of all, I had no plan for tonight, and I like to do that when I'm doing this with you guys sometimes, is to have zero plan so that you can see real live what happens. So the other thing I'm thinking is maybe just to kind of integrate these is just grab that, and then I think I have heart stickers. I know I have heart stickers, it's just what colors I have left here. I'm thinking just like a pink one. No, I have flowers here. And that brings that back down there. And what I can do, I was hoping for a little bit bigger pink one. So let me see if I have anything bigger than that. There we go. There's the second sheet. They're balloons, really. So let's leave it where it is. But I'm going to take a little tiny So I was going to say I'm going to take a little tiny round dot, but it's actually too big. So I'm just going to create my own dot. Well, not dot here, square to go under here. Maybe this will be big enough, we'll see. And I just like how that blue is pulling this blue in from over there. And then maybe I have a blue, I saw a blue heart somewhere. I think I'll put it down here so that we can bring some navy down there. So that we'll have spots of navy in all three little embellishment clusters here. So there's a couple of blue hearts. Let's see, how does that one? It looks like it's on her head. Here we go. There's a smaller one on here. That's really the there we go. Okay, so blue, 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 hot pink, hot pink, hot pink. And I'm probably going to leave this open unless I find like a heart or something that I want to go on here. Okay, that gets a little red in there. I think that's okay because there's red here. There's not red there, but I think that's okay. And I don't, or actually I have a red without the ones on this sticker sheet actually have a little white border to them that I don't love. But I have red here. There we go. So that's taking up just a little bit more real estate across this. I could use this to journal on. I don't know that I'm going to need that journaling space though. Okay. All right. I like it, you guys. I think I'm going to leave it as is now. I think it's good. So, and even like I said, there's this little break here at the bottom, and what I'll just do is I'm going to glue this a little bit more. Now that's down and it's not going to go anywhere. It's popping up a little bit because I pulled everything off. If Harmony was here, that would make her really nervous. But that's one nice thing about working with thicker papers is that they're a little bit more forgiving that way. Okay. All right, you guys, I think that's it for tonight. And I have a blue pen that I can write, about learning French, learning a language, learning anything new at 59 and a half is hard. But I like the language thing. I said to somebody, I learned Spanish. Why is this so hard? And I just think it's because I was, 12 when I started learning Spanish and not 59. So anyway, you guys, I hope you have a great weekend. I am going to take a quick look at my calendar for next week. Yeah, I will not be live next Friday night. I didn't think I was going to be, but I wanted to just verify that because I forgot to check it. So I will not be live next Friday night. If I have time over the weekend, I might try to come on, but I don't know exactly when that would be. So we'll get that figured out. But you guys have a great weekend. Carrie, have a good time working on your album. And I will see you guys hopefully next week. If not, it should be in 2 weeks. I should be able to see you. Bye, everybody.